Hey, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Let's see you. What's going on over here? And Jackson, what's happening? How you doing, man? Good to see you. We got Joey Brown, away from Texas. What's going on, Joe? Rocky Mountain Prospector. What's happening? We got the real OnlyPants. What's going on? I'm doing all right. We got Hobo Rob Prospector. What's going on, Rob? Oh man, we got Rich Peterson. What's happening, Rich? You see it. So it's late night in the house here. Y'all see gold? The little dip. Little dip. I got a 45.74 on gold and 72.89 on silver. Gold Base sent out discount codes today. If you're on his mailing list, you got a 10% off for 3 days. But I don't know if I hadn't checked to see if he adjusted his prices because he's not trying to run that spot price anymore. He's got a percentage over he's running, and that's what he's doing, and that's fine because I'll tell you what, you get some chunky stuff out of his bags if you hadn't done one lately. Every time I do one, I get some nice chunkers, something pretty cool. So how's everybody stack doing? There's back stacking gold, silver, copper. Where you stacking? I'm stacking copper. Yeah, I watch it a couple times a week. I make sure I look at it. Not every single day, but a little bit. And today it's got plus marks on the total, but it's definitely down about. Let's figure out what day it was. Oh, which day did the let's hit the week. Oh, the 26th. So a few days ago, it about $300. Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, I guess. It dropped down, but every month this year it's been the same way, and it's been doing like almost a double dip, like the third week and the fourth week. I don't know. It's just what the way the trends are going. If you watch it, it's just part of the end of the month dip, and if you can buy it at the end of the month, buy it at the end of the month, I suppose, because it seems to always rebound and then some. Let's see how it does. But silver right now, 72.87 each. And then if you try to go buy it, they're going to want like 85 plus shipping. So what are they worth really? Yeah, wild gold. That's good. Wild gold. Yeah, I like my wild gold. I got some here and there and over there and some there, and I got some everywhere. A little bit and that stuff over there. I'm getting contamination. A lot of mercury contamination. And then once you get into it, it's kind of microscopically in everything. And so the next time you go somewhere, you're like, is there mercury here too? Because it's like in the little scratches in your pan, and it'll just jump on that gold like a magnet. And all of a sudden, same for your snuffer bottle, same for everything else that you're using. It takes a while to get it back clean again. Let's see. Open up YouTube. It's end of the month. So yeah, let's send out some memberships to some people. See what happens before they expire. Let's get YouTube for all they're good for. Boom. All right. Just spam it out. Oh, a lot of people got them. Sweet. Well, looks like a bunch of weird bots got them too. Oh well. Appreciate the comments, the people out that watch my videos from years past, because there's 200 or 300 of full-length videos and then shorts and lives and stuff like that too. Appreciate you guys going back and watching those every now and then. I appreciate the comments. So a mail call this week. Well, not really a whole lot. I don't know what y'all seen and what y'all didn't see, but we got some new merch in. We got to do stickers. I might even have something out there right now. You seen that one? Oh, it's upside down. That one's pretty good. But just some economy stickers, some different stuff. But I got some cool stuff on the way for sure. Yeah, there's the To the Moon clear sticker. That one's pretty cool. Let's set up a merch pack. And the new, this is the new roll moon stickers. That works. And I got an email. I didn't check. There might be something out front or on the foyer. But the newest thing I got is this right here. This chunk of metal. That's the main piece. There's a bunch of little pieces in there too. So, and this is my old piece. And it's all dull now. Well, you can still see a little color on it, but it's really dull compared to the way it originally looked. And after doing some research, can I clean it? Not really. Best thing you can, like, Q-tip, air and mineral oil. It's the only way to do it. They say water ruins it. So it hasn't been necessarily dry around, but there was a lot of color on this. You flip it to the underside from where it's oxidized less, you can see a little bit of its old luster. So really the only way to get it back is to recast it. And I was like, well, to recast it, I'm going to need more. So I got more. Then I might give more. Because if you think about it, I'm going to have to get a certain vessel or container to melt this, because if I melt it in that bigger pot or a certain pot, it's going to spread out and be shallow, and I won't be able to grow. Definitely not this, nothing even close to that. So I either need to double or triple the amount of bismuth I really have, and also get a smaller pot with a smaller diameter, so less is deeper, So that's what I'm thinking. Megado, what's happening, man? He's got some spam. You said charts there. Yeah, well, I've grown back a little bit now. I've trimmed down a couple times. It's been about 6 months, guys, since I've started that new job. And heck yeah, new member, Rich Peterson, what's happening? And I've done some outdoors, and I've done some adventures, and I had some failed attempts again. And a couple times I just went out and dug a little bit and spent a little time on the creek and went home. There's time I went out and tried to record and dig, but I never found much gold. So I didn't produce those videos. It just didn't happen. So there are some failed attempts along the way. So it's not like I'm never going or don't go. But timing's odd, It was there for a minute. Every day I had off, it was just like the worst weather ever. But then we've been in a drought. So everybody's busy all the time. But I'm pretty sure I'm either going to do it on a live or make some videos when I'm trying to cast these bismuth crystals. And they're going to be fun. You might have to get a few more things before I start. Like more bismuth, the right pot, right little situation. Oh, man. I had a little bit of tri-tip tonight. That's what I had. With some asparagus and a roll. I nibbled on a few other things throughout the night. Good stuff. I didn't go down the fish route tonight. If I went down the fish route, there was a lot of cool stuff I could have tried tonight when it comes to food. But no, for me personally, what I eat, I just got to keep it simple. Like real meat and veg. That's pretty much it. Yeah. If it's not real meat and veg, I'm gambling. So I was talking about this bag. The reason why I called y'all here. Because I went and looked for them again. I was like, man, they're already gone. And there ain't no record of these in there. Best Cali. Gold Nugget sales. It feels like a fluffy bag. Like when I dump it in, like half the bag's just going to dissolve in the mud. So it might take me about 3 minutes to pan this out. And so I got to fire it up and get some cameras working. Figure out which cameras are working best. I'm gonna go ahead and whiz through this thing real quick. Gotta find me a clean snuffer. I got stuff in most of them. I think that Garrett's clean. I don't ever like using it much, but still got my coffee. Good to see everybody. Hope you all had a good week. Y'all ain't working too hard. I know some days I do, some days I don't. Today was a good day. I'm usually getting off about now. So it was an early day. Early day was a good day. And then we got storms coming. Hopefully, because boy, we have been dry on the southeast. Us here particularly, we've dodged a few of the storms that have come through and hit some other places. I've drove north from here a little bit, and it was just a half hour away. It was way lusher. So what we got? Oh, do y'all like the new Weather Channel? They changed the app. It's no good. Every app still, all of a sudden, they just changed every app, I swear. And it looks like we're going to miss all these storms. I just drove home from work. I was like surrounded by lightning, but somehow we've dodged it. It's almost like heat lightning. So, oh well. Yeah, I need to get out and do a little bit more of this and that when it comes to gold prospecting. But I got places I still on my list, my long list of places that I want to go or go check out, and I got some plans for later this summer, like a little dig-a-thon, dig fest, dig it up for a week, take some time. I'll have some time off, so I'm going to be digging it up then. So that's going to be good. And between now and then, I'm going to be digging when I can. I'm going to try to hit more concerts this year, try to check out a couple concerts from time to time, and stay busy. So I tell you what, the gold prices make it hard to keep your stack going, but it is what it is. And I'm just going to buy a bag whenever I can. This bag here, I think it's depreciated since I've purchased it. I think gold was a few $100s more, but it don't really matter. I'm not really sure what's in this. It says the best of California, so it might just be a mix of a couple different things he has around. I got super clean water. Let's see if we can find a camera there. Good spam. They got different flavors. There's a lot more flavors than you realize. Look online. There's even more flavors. There's some that's only sold in certain countries. Oh, he put the sticker on it good. Sometimes he puts it low enough where you can rip it open. It smells very clean. Good evening to you, Roger. How's it going, man? 67. That sounds marvelous. Well, it's 65 here, so not too bad. It's really breezy. We got some storms around us. 3 storms circling me, but none of them are coming this way. So we're getting like maybe some downdraft winds or something. I don't know. Yeah, you gotta cook it hard. Yeah. They got teriyaki spam. Cube it up, fry it up, make it good. Heavy metal detective. What's happening, man? Miss you there. Bunch of fine stuff in there. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. His bags usually aren't hard at all. Unless you get that expert bag. They all go from easy to the hardest thing ever. But last time I did the expert bag, it wasn't the 100 mesh gold. It might have been like some 40 mesh, but it wasn't that powder gold like it was years ago. Let's see if we can get this working. Let's see which one we like better. That one says HD webcam, and this one says Logi. Logi ain't gonna. Oh, Logi ain't gonna work. HD it is. Slice spam, pineapple slice, Swiss cheese, yummy. Oh. What's the thing where you slice the spam real thin and you kind of bake it a little bit, maybe on a rack a little bit, and then you pull it out and then you put like different stuff on it, like maybe jalapeno slice and some cheese or whatever you like on there, and then you finish baking it up like a spam chip. Spam chips, jalapenos. Yeah, why is the lucky pan today? What's empty? A lot of stuff in a lot of pans. I got my blue pan. Went to water with some magic drops. And I heard a rumor there's some fine stuff in there, so I'm going to slide a safety pan in there. All right. Check the stability of my camera. All right, I'm looking pretty good, pretty good. Man, that is a little pan to make it a little bigger. See, all this is some second chance solutions right here. I was going to run through, clean the tub out, and I screened it down. I panned out one of them. Panned out the pan. Well, there's one nice piece of gold in that pan. It surprised the hell out of me. It was a flat flake. It was really thin. So those flat, thin flakes will sit on top of the black sand and slide out the first chance they get. That's the type of gold you lose real easy, is a thin flake. It'll just fly right out of the pan. Literally, I mean fly like it gets lift in the water like a bird's wing. All right. I need a thingy. I'm going to sprinkle some of this. Oh, my goodness. I'm just going to thin it off since it's just going to be mud. What's the big one here? Wow. Yeah. I already lost half the back. That is maybe the dirtiest bag gold nugget sales has ever put out. So you notice I didn't really wash down any material yet, because the rule out in the woods when you're breaking down clay like that, when you break it down, is I don't wash any material out until I can hear the rocks scraping on the bottom of the pan. It can take a while. Oh, I heard some. Let's take a look, see what it's looking like. Oh, what we got here? That almost was like play ball. Oh, it was busted apart. Maybe it was some type of play ball. Wish I had somebody to still watch some of his lights. Shut it down, getting down some gravel, remove some of these lights here. This ain't moving too bad. There was so much filth in it, so much dirt, clay. You gotta rinse it about 10 times when you start working, and then it still ain't clean. You're just able to start working it. I'm not seeing anything too interesting. It is definitely a mix of stuff. I'm seeing like round river rocks, weird shell and gravel looking stuff, all a weird mix of stones that you usually don't see together. This thing looks like it's pulling out, but maybe it's this. This looks like a damn razor sharp, that's for sure. Some of these pebbles in it. Get it up, getting down there, getting that down layer of bigger rock at the bottom. And they're jaggedy and they stuck together and ain't going nowhere. That big amount. There we go. Well, hope April's been good to everybody. It's done come and gone. Son of a gun. Maybe we got something in the dirt. I got a little bit of this and that in the dirt already. Trying to do some peppers this year for sure. Trying to grow some peppers this year. A bunch of different types of peppers already. We got to expand on the variety to get the flavor I like. Might try some other things this year too. Might have enough different stuff out there. That's some pretty chunky stuff. It's just a bunch of flakes. There's no fine gold top. I didn't know what to expect. Just gotta get a little bit more of that black sand up and way under the gold. Got it typically in your back pin now. Definitely slide down. Definitely slide down. Well, it's moving though. Yeah, I don't know if the Garrett will snuff these up. They got a little bit old strong on that Garrett. They just want you to go out there and find dust. They don't think you're gonna find no pickers. That's why I like that Pro line. I need to go online and find me somebody that's got them in stock. Just order me a few. I've been using all these generic ones and such. I got a Pro line or two floating around still, but they're the ones I prefer. Now that other brand, what the brand I'm using right here, the pan I'm using, this Mind Lab, they make a good pan, but I didn't care for their snuffle bottle. All right, where's that Garrett? We're going to give it a go with Garrett. Make sure she's empty. No gold in it. No gold. Go. Come on, Garrett. Go for gold. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, it's flaky, but it ain't that flaky. Didn't choke up the Garrett. Yeah, that's easy to do. Hot damn. Good to see everybody. I was missing chat over there. I had my face in a gold pan. What's going on? I see Mary. What's happening, Mary? Thanks for the stickers. I got your stickers. Showed them in the last live. PA, what's happening, PA? What's happening? HD says, you already know. I just call you Harry Dork. Oh, man. It's like a whale with a wig or something. I don't know. Alaskan Assassin Adventures. Welcome to the shack. Late night shack. Let's do a spinny pan. Yeah, spin it up while I find I got some garnets there. I picked some garnets out of a bag I was doing the other night. And I was like, dang, I can't pan all my bags. I got to share some of them. Wash it dirty. Get the gold clean and I put it in the dirty thing. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool sound. All right. On the stand we go. Where's my lighter? Lighter. All right. We got fire on the gold. Tonight we panned out the best California limited edition run from Gold Nugget Sales. That's one more that don't exist because we panned it out, and boy, it's flaky. It was flaky. It looked like it was about 15 pieces of gold for the whole bag. Hardly no dust, no bits. Oh, that's good. Oh, hell no, I don't. I got too many stray cats around my yard to be having rats around here. We got stray cats running around. There might even be another little prego girl running around here. I was like, oh, what the hell? Not again. But that one boy, his ear has been snipped. So that means he's been picked up and fixed and thrown back out. If they got a flat ear, they've been, yeah, they fix them and throw back out. But that's fine. That's fine. We got I'm getting scales and such out. We'll just go out dry. Whatever. No, we didn't have any rats in here. Why do you think I got rats? No, dude, there's probably some camp food from last year I need to throw out or reuse or dig up. Yeah, we got rid of all the kitties except for the old girl. And she's in there on my bed, high as a kite, laying on a pile of nip in my shirt, just happy as hell. Yeah, she gets spoiled. If not, I don't know. She's behaviors. She'll pee on something you like. That's all the power she's got. All I can do is pee on stuff, and that's what I'll do. So you just spoil them. Try to keep them happy. That's the only answer I got. Where's the things? I had to use them to fix the bug light the other day. The bug light was all zappy zappy, and I had to use these clamps to try to manipulate the internal and external wire cages so they were not arcing. There's more water in there than I need. I should move a little water. Why is it taking so long? I'm trying to boil a quarter cup of water away. No, I'm not. Ta-da. Okay. The overs. Been using the overs to fix funny holes in the yard and places. It's really working. It's really leveling the yard out pretty quick, you know. Then we get equipment come in and put down, and when they put down, boy, it takes a while to fix that spot because they just sink. Oh, this can be a temporary cover for now. Just put this on here. Do that right there. Sizzle, sizzle. Let's give her a little shake. Final sizzle. Dang, is all that gold? But sometimes the fire will reveal the truth. You know that, right? Once you, well, you shouldn't definitely breathe the fumes. If it's wild gold, you shouldn't dry. I always air dry my wild gold or take my time with it or keep it wet because there could be mercury on your wild gold, even if you can't see it. So if you're ever drying gold fast, don't inhale the fumes. That's for sure. But to tell you what, I got a pretty good little vial I've been saving up of dirty natural gold. There's a few grams in there now. And I got some more and some snuffers. So I don't know if I'm just going to do a burn off or I don't know. I guess I'm just going to burn it off. I can just run my big lump through a coffee filter and recover that recovers 98% of the mercury right there. And do a burn off of everything in the tube and keep it separate, and then do another burn off from everything else. I don't know. Yeah, that's like gold. Where's my? It's pick up any of the gold. Yeah, it does. Pick up the gold pieces. So let's throw this gold under the microscope after we wait and see why it's picking a couple pieces up. I bet you there's some microscopic magnetite crystals growing on the gold itself. So heck yeah. Where's the paintbrush? Here we go. Zero it out. Did I get it? Did I get my gram? I'm pretty sure I did. Maybe there's a little dust in there. 1.06595859. Okay. Well, we went from bag of gold to gold in my hand. That quick. There we go. Now we're going to switch over. We're going to take a look at this gold. See what it is. All right, this button. So it's the best of California mix. So I figured, I don't know what other California bags he's had in the past, and he may have had a little bit of this and that left over. I don't know. So I don't know what he used to make it, but it definitely looked like at least two, maybe three types of material mixed together. General. All right, we got to percolate. What happened? Oh, I'm pushing wrong buttons. Only wrong buttons. Ooh, this looks like River Smash stuff. See that? Oh, yeah. See how it's got that? You can see remnants of a roundness to it, but it looks like it's been hammered. Like literally. Oh, but there's a crystally looking piece. Very crystally looking piece. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look at that one a little bit even tighter. Now, what is that? Well, what is that? That's cool. It's holding a little piece of quartz, so it looks like an arm holding a piece of cheese. No. What was that? That's brassy looking, buttery looking with some reddish hematite. That's fantastic as well. And almost like I need to take a little toothpick and separate this into kind of like two piles so we can look at those certain pieces in better. There's about 5 or 6 pieces in there. So let's bring it back. So I don't. Who's me? USB? That's me. Hey guys, what's happening? 18 amazing people in here. E. Larson, what's happening? Deuces. What's going down? We got PA Patriot. What's going on in the chat? Chat. Hello, Rob, Mary. Good to see you guys. Still having a little cup of coffee. Helps me talk a little bit. Place is always a mess. That's fine. All right. I use my golf tee here. And I'll try to separate some of this gold out. So we can see the funny pieces a little better. Oh, that's a funny one. They resist. All right. I kind of got all the plain flakes to one side and all the little bits kind of spaced out. And there's about 20 of the little bits and about 10 flakes maybe. All right, we'll get in there good. He's making the big bucks now. He's a boss man. You know, he's a boss. I ain't no boss. I do as I'm told. But I ain't doing too bad right now. Things are better than they used to be. That's for sure. Let's get on up. Get on up. Arr. Little fuzzy things. All right, now we can look at these little bits a little better. Now, where am I at here? Let's pull it back. Okay, start up here. We'll get in a little better. Easy does it. Little is a lot. Where's that other line? Oh, they're all down. So can I cut it down? It's a smidgen. Too much. Too much. All right. Dog spaceship way out. Uh-oh. Oh, new job. Uh-oh. I'm going to went private on that one. Yeah, I know I'm going to be looking for it. Cauliflower. Oh, that's my trigger word. I'm trying to light back up. Oh, I did it wrong. Oh, it slid down. I don't think I can focus from there. Well, I got it in there. Let's see if we can get. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. If If you hit this thing just right, you slip the gears, as you just found out. Okay, where am I? What am I looking at? How am I on big pieces? Where's that crystally stuff? Oh, there's 1, 2. All right. So even some of those smaller pieces are just like, oh, there it is. There's that one that's holding a crystal. And there's that red one. Yeah. Oh, that's gnarly. Oh, it's like a blood spike. Oh, man. Check that out. This is a Moisui. It's a big stand thing. It's got a camera and lights and stand. I got like, it's too strong almost. Well, no, this replaced the second little light stand. I had 2 little ones, you know. First one was great, but you couldn't adjust it well or focus good without moving everything. And the second one I got was too good because you couldn't even back up enough to show a dime. It was such a magnifier. You couldn't even show a dime with it. You had to like be showing something microscopic. I was like, well, dang, I went overboard with that one. And then everybody was getting those Tom Loves, and then there was another brand, something Love. And then I was searching around, and Amazon said this one's on sale, and I'm like, bet. So I bought this one, and this worked pretty good after the initial install, which was a little tricky, finding the right drivers for some reason. But then, because they gave you, the reason was they gave you 2 sets of instructions and 2 different things to do. So one set of instructions didn't work. The other set of instructions kind of worked. So yeah, some pretty cool gold. This is like some river smash stuff. So have y'all seen some pretty stuff? Nice. It'll go well in my flake jar. I don't think anything in there is big enough to go in anything bigger. But I think what happened? Oh, it's the wrong button. Let's put this. There we go. I don't know why that don't work though. Bring it back, and here we are. Hey, Mary. Roger Lane, Alaskan Assassin. That's cool. Yeah, I used your logo that you sent for a couple of the thumbnails. I really like it. And if I could tweak it just a couple ways, boy, it'd just be about perfect. But hell yeah, I like it. Everybody's saying hey to each other. It's awesome. So it's Wednesday night late. It's 12:20. I've been live for 51 minutes. Done panning that bag out. Showed you the bismuth. So here's the chunk. If you missed the bismuth, here's the. I ordered a kilo. I think I'm gonna get a couple more kilos, and I'm gonna sell crystals off like by weight. You know, I'm gonna calculate up how much I spent on weight and what it costs and whatever, and weigh them out. And I have crystals. I'm gonna make some crystals, make some different things because you can do different things with them. Somebody sent me some bismuth they grew in a seashell. Who was it? Megan Dog? Who was it sent me that one? Is that you, Megan Dog? Did you grow that? Did you play with it, or is it something you got? Might not have been Megan Dog. I got a couple boxes before, like from other people. like N.C. Marable from she used to hang out. I got a big box with a lot of weird stuff in there, just like not weird stuff, just like off the wall cool rocks, like from certain spots, like a group, like here's a group of blue rocks from Michigan, here's a group of sandy rocks from the desert, things like that. Cool rocks. So I can't wait to get into this bismuth deal, but I still have other things I've been working on, and eventually I'll get to all of it. Eventually. But right now it's been it's go on yard, so the garden's tilled up and everything like that, and all that stuff's been done. I got the corn in the ground. That's one of the things I'm doing this year. I'm growing a special little stand of corn, some rare sweet corn. Can't wait to get it up. If the numbers work out, even if I get half yield, even if I get half yield, that's like 250 ears. So it's just like if half of it, if I lose half of it and half of it don't yield, I still got 200. But but I don't know how the corn's going to do here. You never know until you try it and drink. That Cokes. Well, I'm going to probably sit here and jibber jabber about gold, and maybe even go check out the websites and share. You might want to come up and chit chat with me. Yeah, there you go. You're more than welcome to come up here and hang out and talk about gold mostly. I stopped watching the news and stuff, and a lot of the YouTube people that I would watch, even just like comedy stuff or commentary and things like that. I'm not keeping up with things, and it's better that way because half the stuff they tell you to piss you off one day is not true the next day sometimes, so they're just trying to keep you stressed out. That's what I truly believe. So I've been staying away from it. Even with that, you catch enough. You catch enough of it. You really do. If something really bad happens, you'll find out. For real. Dollar stronger, gold goes down. No, that's true. It's good, bad, either way. Good, bad, either way. Gold goes up. That means your dollar's weaker. So truthfully, you don't want gold to go through the roof. No. You don't need it to. It makes everything else kind of go crazy. All right, let's go check out this guy. See what he's got going. Full negative sales. Quarter grams are 41. That's not including shipping. It's quarters. Half gram 78. And his shipping is like 8 or 12. Depends on the bag. Let's go back over streaming. All right, I am Zaxxon in the studio. What's up, Zaxxon?
I won't leave you hanging. What's going on, Benzo?
I just want to look at some of these gold bags here. 150 for the 1 grammers today.
How many years you been doing gold?
Since I was a little boy.
Oh, man, I got to do it around 2020. We were paying 60 for 1 grammers shipped.
Right. And that's about when I got started doing YouTube. I never bought it. Like I did gold, but I never bought any until I started YouTube.
I'm cheap, so those prices are so hard to stomach sometimes. Like, damn it.
Yeah. 463 for the 1 grammer, 3.
I always take them and break them down by the math or whatever. The 11 for 10 always comes out just a hair ahead of everybody else for price per gram.
Yeah. Well, you get a big nugget in there. Yeah, I could never figure out how we figured out the 11 for 10 math because I couldn't never get it to work out.
No. I like I say, when I say it's a hair better, it's a hair better. I'm sure some convoluted scenario it's 11 for 10, but I can't find it.
But it's still a good bag. I did a couple of them. I did one live one time. It was a lot of fun. Had a pretty good piece of gold out of it. It was I think I kept it for a while too. So yeah, this wholesale.
Anymore, I've only been buying for community support. I'll buy a bag when somebody's trying to sell some to raise some cash or something, but other than that, I'm not. The big guys, I just don't buy it.
His best selection is the California gold nuggets. You can get a lot of different Calis. Some of those selections he only has a couple or no nuggets in. But the further away you go, the more expensive they are. And there's some locations that are just insane on the price. You're like double spot, triple spot.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot up there. He's got a lot of you see his huge gold nuggets. He's got these bad boys. 15 grand. We're talking 90 grams, 18 gram, 3 ounces.
Yeah, but he's wanting what? Oh, they're heavy. Never mind.
Yeah, they're huge. They're huge. This is 3 ounces for 19. Six ounces. 6.5. Look at that thing. Wow. How big it is, about the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
40 grand. Wow.
And those are all etched ones, right? That he's cleaned up and made them nice.
Don't know. They're all different. This one's Western Australia. So that's probably another reason why it's extra pricey. It's that high grade as well.
Yeah.
Let's see what Benden's got in his pay dirt shop this week. We still got the quartzite plaster. We still got the super sack, $30. 5 gram of quartzite. So that's his bag right now is quartzite. The last thing I panned it on the last show. I panned all his quartzites out.
I haven't done one.
Wasn't too bad. Well, definitely some quartz rocks in it, that's for sure. 5 grams of Lynx Creek 800. That is delivered. It's a pretty good deal right now. They still got some superstition out there. And Hasayampa.
I always like the Jimmy's dirt.
The what?
The Jimmy's secret spot dirt.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't seen that in years.
Yeah, that 800 for 5 is not a horrible deal.
I got it a couple times, and every time I got it was like different dirt.
Yeah.
All right, let's go check out this guy, Gold Bag. Last couple of bags I got from him, they were a little more pricey, but I wasn't disappointed because of the crystally unique rough gold I got at them. He's also got he's got the 15 gram jug, 2650. 1 gram, 175.
There's a couple dowsers in the community ferret.
5 gram, 875. That seems pricey, but he's going to throw some chunkers in there.
Yeah.
3 grams, 525. That's pricey, but you get big, unique, beautiful gold. So you get what you pay for, and you really do. I can't not. It's pricier. It is pricey, but he usually delivers a large bag of dirt for one, and big unique gold. So all three of those sellers I went through tonight are people I normally buy from, and they're all good.
Yep.
And they all have different things. Fly poops, feelers, pickers, nuggets, a turd, plate, a tater,
Boulder.
those Oregon taters. They look like russet potatoes. I
Job
got
keeping you busy, huh?
I got specks and flecks and flakes, feelers, pickers, pokers, and pushers. Work's keeping me busy. Heck yeah. As long as we stay staffed and I can stay on 5 days, I'm pretty good. Going 6 days, or at my age, when I get over 7 days straight, I start fading hard. You can tell it. So it's just the physicality of it. I'm getting better at it the more and more I do it. I'm getting back in a different shape, lost some weight.
That's what I meant earlier when I said it looked like you trimmed down a bit.
I did. I dropped quite a bit. That's over the past 6 months, just walking at work and just dietary restrictions because I just can't eat processed or most fast foods and stuff like that. I just can't eat it. So I can't have a candy bars and snacks and snack cakes, and so I don't get them.
I try not to eat many of them.
I don't get them.
About the last 6 or 8 months, I've been doing. I try to keep fruit around. You know,
Fruit's
there's you can see it over my head here. There's bananas, apples, and oranges on the table there. Oranges are finally getting decent. They were crap for a while.
Carson, if you saw how many of them deviled eggs I threw in the trash, you'd cry. Some fancy deviled eggs tonight with trout roe. Yeah. Fancy people, fancy food. It was a nice spread tonight. Beautiful, beautiful, nice spread. We had the oysters, shrimp tower. Speaking of,
Yeah, they don't have nothing where they recycle that food or give it away or nothing. They just toss it all.
not all of it. A lot of it is reused or consumed, but there's certain things that can't be saved, and so it's sad sometimes.
Yeah,
Everybody does their best. Oh man, look at that! Ooh,
MJ wants deviled eggs without the egg.
with all the extra eggs. Oh yeah. There's also stuff mixed into the filling that makes it a little funky too.
Yeah,
Yeah. They have regular ones during the day. They do a lot of double eggs and everything, but those ones tonight weren't different from the ones I normally do. I do them with like tuna, raw tuna on top.
too fancy for me.
Yeah, too fancy for a lot of people. But there's certain fish that are okay to eat like that. Certain ones taste pretty good. Tastes pretty good.
Sure does.
I'm I'm not on the fence about it, but It's the cephalopods, like the squids and octopus. They are so good. Oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe how good they are. But if you have bad ones, they're so bad, so bad. Oh, you wouldn't believe how bad they are. And most people get bad ones. Most of it's frozen, and I think it's one of those things like frog legs. Like they're okay, but if you freeze it, it's not it's not it.
See, I still want to try alligator.
Alligator's great, but if you freeze it, it's not it. That's another one. It may
No,
be a reptile amphibian thing. I don't know. But there's certain things the texture changes so much that yeah, you can go to that Chinese buffet and get frog legs on there, but it's just mass produced frozen frog legs and they don't taste like oh my god, the frog legs.
yeah,
If it ain't hopping in the pan, it ain't right. Because the fresh ones they hop a little bit.
that's
Yeah,
that. That's had to be a nice learning curve for you, seeing what the high dollar food looks like.
oh no, I've seen some of that stuff. It's just they just throw some pricey meats. I hadn't ever worked with the people on Tease Meats before. And I'm glad oyster season's about over.
Don't
So
like them?
I'm not crazy about them, but oysters and mussels will be off the table until September. So we'll go. We'll be serving other stuff, more crab, probably crab cakes, scallops, things like that. Frog legs aren't bad. They just kind of taste like a little bit like a fishy chicken wing. Depends on it's all really about the seasoning and breading. But the one thing about it, they have that one big vein that runs through the leg that most people don't like. A lot of people are turned off by that one. It's a pretty large vein running through the leg.
I've never had them.
Yeah, I just let the frog stay. I remember when I was a kid, if there was a light like in the woods, like at somebody's house, you could walk around. There's like toads everywhere, 30, 40 toads easily. I'd go and I'd take a cooler and I'd just collect them up and count them and I'd let them loose. But you don't see toads and stuff like that no more.
We have a shortage of frogs out here.
Yeah, you see like one or two. You hear a couple of them. We still have the chorus frogs. From legs are amazing. More chickeny. Yeah, more chickeny. Yeah, snapping turtle is a big mix of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of different meats on a snapping turtle. We did that when I was little. Had some caught and cleaned them up for a while and fed them stuff and washed them out and everything. And then there comes the big day and cleaned out the turtles and boiled them off in the cauldron. Set up a cauldron fire and boiled off the turtles. And then they picked them clean. And I guess the best meats got eaten right then because there's some little pockets of certain weird meats on them. There's like 13 different meats or something. I don't know. Something like that. Some big number of different types of meats on the turtle. And they just pick all the meat and throw in and make a big pot of turtle dumplings.
I'd try it.
Oh, it's good. Tastes like chicken dumplings, pretty much. 7 different meats. For that sounds good. And one of them comes really close to crab, and some of them are more like just like in a weird amphibious, chickeny, fishy. Well, they say penguin tastes like cantaloupe. No, like what type of penguin? There's so many types of penguins.
Somebody's gonna need to bring some turtle down to the Yuba and cook MJ up a bowl.
Bowl of turtle.
A bowl of turtle.
Yeah.
What can make a put?
Made on. Take it, man. Take it. Put my girl there. Man, that's a nice truck. Tell you what. No banners tonight. I ain't trying to sell nothing. I ain't asking for nothing. I do have some new merch and stuff, and I got some new stuff on the way. We'll be doing something with that in the near future. And I was thinking about making a line of something for coming up, just to do it, just because I hadn't done it in a while, and make something up, make up give myself plenty of time and make up a theme bag for the next thing coming up. Take a while to set everything up, either a bag or a brick or something. So I might make something up just for funsies, And
I mean, you've done 4th of July every year for like 5-6 years. You almost got to do that.
maybe the 4th of July. I skipped a few already. Like my Valentine's and March stuff have been kind of pretty awesome in the past.
I don't remember a Halloween painter from this year.
Right. I went hard on Halloween some year, like doing several different types. I'm pretty sure I did a Halloween this year, didn't I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did some Halloween stuff this year. That was the last thing I did was some Halloween stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, you might have.
That was pretty much the end of right there because I started November, right at the beginning of November. I started and I was pretty much done. Ooh, this thing's breaking. You want to break this crystal? You want to see what happens? It's like crumbly.
You're gonna melt it anyway, ain't you?
Yeah, let's break it.
Go for it.
Let's break it live. Oh, where's it going to break? Something's breaking.
It's gonna split sideways in two. Yep.
That piece broke off.
Now, have you ever played with that metal that's liquid at room temperature?
Gallium?
Yeah, gallium.
I don't have any. Like the crystals are breaking off the base, but that base is strong.
Because that grows, right?
Yeah, this grows. So imagine that's the surface, the top. And you can see the pinch point right there where they reached in and grabbed it with a pair of needle nose and plucked it out and pulled the crystal up out of the water, out of the liquid. So you plant a seed of some sort. I was going to tear this down, see if I can see what seed they used or how big it is or how much of this is bismuth. Because if there's a big chunk of random metal in there, I don't need to try to melt that into the mix. But it looks like just bismuth. If there's a seed of some sort, I can't see it. I can see where it would be. It looks like it'd be right there. But I don't see anything foreign. Like maybe they just stuck a little piece of this in there and let it start growing. I don't know.
Does that stuff set off a metal detector?
It's metal. Pretty sure it would.
Megadog has 5 grams of gallium somewhere.
Okay. I thought about getting a little bit, but
I thought about getting some too, but with me, it just get wasted.
I just play with it. Yeah, the way this thing is angled, I don't think it's going to be no good putting it in the microscope. Unless I can find a plane like that and catch it just right. Let's see if it worked. Maybe got a focal length. So you can see, let's back off a little bit more even.
Yeah.
Just a little piece. Let's turn on its side. You can see the crystal structure, how it was growing down layer by layer, just laying rings in.
It'd be interesting to watch a series on having it grow.
Heck yeah. I'm
Hell,
also going to do some mercury aluminum growths, some time lapse mercury aluminum growths. I've been trying to find the right type of aluminum to use because, or I could just scratch it up. But it's looking like just my little trays here are the rawest open aluminum I have because everything else seems to be brushed or coated or something. It's like protected. Well, don't work too hard tomorrow. Yeah, I got to get up too. We're going to shut her down here in a minute.
later,
Have a good
MJ.
night, Jay. So maybe just use one of my trays, sacrifice one of my trays, and like literally take a X-Acto to it and scratch up the bottom to remove any oxidation layer and open it up and immediately, you know, have the camera set up immediately play and then do a time lapse. But
You couldn't just like forge some fresh aluminum out of something?
I mean, I could.
Well, any kind of auto part or something like that. It seems to me if you just forged it down, it would be relatively pure. Then you wouldn't be destroying something nice.
Oh, it ain't nothing nice. Just a little tray. I got a bunch of them, but yeah, it would destroy it. But it took me that long to figure out why my damn trowels, even when I was up in the feeder creeks, just for years and years way before YouTube, 10 years before YouTube, I'd be up in the feeder creeks with my little trowels because I went low tech back then. Super low tech. Some days I didn't even carry a full size shovel. I carried a half shovel. Went up there with knee pads and just up in there banging around in the rocks. Low tech. But I wasn't finding mercury gold. No, not usually. It was rare, but you can't see it. But all my trials, all of a sudden, they would just start. They would disintegrate. They would fall apart like they was made out of clay. Like it would break like oxidized plastic. And it's the mercury. Just the little bits that you get on the tip of your shovel digging in the bits. Because most of those little garden trials are made out of aluminum.
Now, are you thinking it's natural mercury, or are you working by an old mine site, an old processing site?
It's old mine. I don't know how much of that in there is natural. Uh, awesome, Roger Lane gifted 10. Amazing gift. Rock on, Roger. That's killer. I think it's all old workings. There's historical documents of stamp mills being all around, and they use mercury. They use those mercury plates. They use those mercury sluices. They just threw it around like mad back in the day, and that was back before it was even really super known to be dangerous. They know it is maybe, but not like we know now. So they would just pour it in and then go find it because it would go down the lowest spots and it'd pick up any fine gold along the way
Yep.
and drag all the gold with it. And wherever you find it, that's where the gold would be. So just they'd throw it to it. And then there was just the runoff from the stamp mills. But this recent discovery of my theory, because I talked to somebody and they said they went through there in the 80s and tore it all out, like a whole bunch of people. Okay, that's fine. That's 30 years ago, or 40 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever. But if they tore it all out, a lot of people skipped that stretch. Well, I went down there on that stretch after the drought. So my theory is that the drought, it let it get so dry that argillite, which if you bring home a wet piece of argillite and set it out there from the creek, it'll bloom. It'll just bloom. It won't stay a hard rock. Well, some of it will. You can tell the difference. Some of it, it'll just, as it dries, it just be a big pile of dust in your yard. It's happened. It's like crazy. So I think it's all was sitting there baking in the sun, drying out, and which was the old bedrock. because under the rocks, under everything, drying out, and it bloomed. And this was what people got to before. And then I went in there, and it came free. It busted out. So it was like I removed another new section of bedrock, and it was full of mercury. It was absolutely full of mercury because it wasn't removable back then unless you had like maybe machinery. So there's still places like that out there, and I mean,
and it's not the kind of rock that mercury will naturally run in, right?
No, not really. Mercury, that's all gold at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Mercury is a runoff of cinnabar.
Yeah.
Cinnabar mineral quartz, and that's where they would find natural pools of mercury, is in caves and places like that where there is cinnabar. It can be forced out of the stone and it'll extrude, and somebody's bleeding. So that's why it was like, that's how they find it. So they always thought it was magical, you know.
I watched a thing on a cinnabar mine the other night.
Hey, that's dangerous stuff. I wouldn't want to do it.
I think the channel was Desert Trails. He was looking at an abandoned mine, and they had, for some reason, they used terracotta pipes for some of the process, or whatever the freaking process was. But for some of it, they used terracotta pipes. He says those pipes are so soaked with mercury. You know, those are going to be highly contaminated pipes.
Dang. Just pressing it straight out of it. Yeah. I have a cinnabar crystal specimen, which is pretty rare. It's on a quartz, and it's got a pure red, little tiny red crystal. And the cinnabar crystals are kind of rare, but cinnabar specimens aren't that rare. That E. Larson, that red calcite, that twinned calcite, that gnarly little piece, that's a cinnabar calcite. That's why it's so deep red. So don't prick your fingers with it. I got a chunk of it. I was going to break down, maybe clean it up. It's so fragile. If you clean it, you break it down. You know, that piece it's been broke down so many times over the years. It just keeps getting broken down.
The cinnabar and gold will run. Every now and then you find a mercury and gold mine together.
Oh yeah, sure thing. Yeah, the mercury can be a natural thing as well. But where I'm at, I don't think it is. There's too much historic mining, and when you get away from the historic mining, you don't really find any. You can still find gold, but you don't find any of the mercury. And it used to just be up in the smaller creeks is where the only place you would find any. And I'm like, I've never found any mercury beyond this point, and that point's moved down a few times already, you know. So I'm finding in the main run, I'm finding gold mercury in the main run in certain spots. So that's like after all the main creeks feed in together, because all of them are gold bearing, but it's really only one side of the park that's got gold. The other side of the park don't really have gold for some reason. It's like only like one ridge of the one. It all went out one way.
Yep.
And or the theory is it all went out one way, or everything that went out this way has already been washed away by the river. Because on the other side of the mountain you got river. But then again, it's spotty through there. You can just go skip 5 miles and hitting more gold deposits. Skip 5 miles across the lake. Well, who knows what's under the lake? Oh yeah, I bet there's 100 pounds of gold under that lake. Every bit of it.
Well, wait until they start mining the ocean floor.
Oh man, there's lakes right now. If you could dredge them, you'd have it made.
Once they figure out how to properly mine the ocean floor, they're going to find the biggest deposits of everything. that they've ever found. They just got to figure out how to do it cost effectively.
Oh yeah, Cinnabar gold. Nice. Yeah.
I'm familiar with the area, Carson. I haven't done any exploring back there though. Too wet for me. Carson's idea of the backside of Big Bear is the front side for me.
Yeah, Cinnabar. It's that dangerous stuff.
Well,
Be pretty cool.
there's a they were saying that I got a couple of barite mines around me. A couple of people cautioned me that the barite can actually have small amounts of radioactive material with it.
Sure, sure.
And they were talking about make sure you clean yourself good when you leave. Well,
Dude, can you find barite blades? Like,
I don't know about blades. I can find heavily crystallized purple rock that's barite.
dude, you know how much this sells for? Barite is insane. It is like so heavy. It's a small little crystal, and you're like, oh my god, what the hell?
I guarantee you, I got rocks of it sitting outside.
Oh,
No
man.
clue.
Always been a fan. Only got one piece. But I've always wanted a nice scallopy piece of all the bladed barite. You know, it was real pretty and stacked up nice. You know,
We out here we got I got one barite mine that was primarily barite. It didn't have very much anything else in it. I got another one. This is a real sketchy mine. It's barite with copper running. Barite's running with copper. So everything has this nice green hue to it. But that particular mine, I went in there when I was a kid, and it was sketchy with my dad. And I've heard from multiple explorers and some pretty experienced people just stay out. It's every stope in that mine, every single stope, the stoles, which are the wooden boards going across, keeping the mountain apart. Every single stope, the stoles are collapsing. The stoles are split. They're buckling from the from the mountain trying to close itself. And I've heard stories of collapses in there. I've heard multiple people saying, things just come down on them. But when you're looking at the stopes, because you can still see into the stopes, you can fall 100 foot if you want to. But when you're looking into the stope, every one of these 12 by 12 boards, every single one, lots of them, are all split and crushed. The mine's trying to close itself. There's still a way in it. I wouldn't go without somebody with skills though.
Sounds like you just need to cut a new shaft at that point.
There's ways in it. It's not just one shaft. It was a massive complex. I don't know how massive, but it was a massive complex. The other thing about it is it's a dirty mine. So you go in there and you're coming out just absolutely covered.
Hey, you're gonna need a jumpsuit.
Nah, you just deal with it. Shower when you're done.
Yeah, keep it stretched out.
What?
I'll be going out digging next chance I get. I don't know. It ain't this week. I don't know. Let's see. I'll find out by tomorrow I'm because I'm wanting to go digging next week because we've had a couple little rain events and I need to. I've got most caught up on everything else. It's time. I almost went the other day, but I said no. I need to heal. I had a couple events. I had some setbacks, and I was like, I'm going to heal up right.
See, and that's getting old. That's getting older for working for you because 10 years ago, like, nah, I'll be all right. And then you just go out and get your kid.
Yeah, I was like, well, I could have just laid it on thick, and I was like, man, I've been sore too long. I'm gonna rest one more day. I've been sore every day for as long as I can remember. So I'm just gonna rest one day here. So every now and then you need to. And it worked out. I've been feeling a lot better. Maybe you get run down. You just gotta let yourself rest sometimes.
Carson, the best calico ones have been closed off. There's still plenty out there to play in, but the best ones are they got rid of them. There's plenty of them around here though. I got one that'll make you surprised you're still here, but the ore body in this thing is pretty.
Oh yeah.
It's a real wet mine though. You get to the particular part and it's just so wet. You walk through there absolutely silent. It's not even very far in.
Heck yeah.
As long as it doesn't collapse while you're going in and out, you're all right.
Yeah. I'm not much for going in sketchy caves. I'll go underground, but if it's sketchy, I'm like, I don't need it.
You gotta have an associated risk level with what you're doing.
Yeah.
I can go and play of them that are fine. It's not a hobby for dumb people.
No. I'll tell you what I'll do. I like Jeff Williams caves. The boy Adams is structured up good. Tell you what, I feel real safe in there.
Yep.
I was like, ain't no way in hell he's gonna find enough gold to cover all that wood cost. Ain't no way in hell.
Jeff Williams has been in, I dare say every mine in Southern California.
Everyone that he knows about, I guarantee it.
Well, he goes on. You'll catch him in the comments of some of these explorers channels, especially mine exploring with Tom and Julie. But you'll catch him in the comments, and he's like, "Man, we went in that one in the '80s. That was so cool. It was cool then. It's cool now." He's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's a wealth of information. I like his videos. Sometimes his shtick is a little much for me, but I still like his videos. He's for real, and he'll teach you stuff you don't know. That's for sure.
He's calmed down enough that I could actually watch him compared to 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I mean, the dude's got more knowledge than I'll ever have.
Him and Slim.
He was just so wild.
Yeah.
I could only watch him for so long. And it's like, oh, freaking guy.
The skits with the skeleton and all that, I think it was calmed down and all the crazy stuff. He's still himself, but yeah.
You can see he forces it a lot more now. He forces the energy level compared to before. He didn't have to try so hard. But as far as knowledge goes, he knows more than I'll ever know. He's forgotten more than I'll ever know. Yeah, Carson, there's every year goes on, you can get into less. It took me three 4-wheel drive trips to find this one mine that I could see on Google Earth, and it was big. It looked like a good sized production. It took me 3 trips by the time I found it, and then I discovered they'd blown it closed. But I mean, the winch cable on there, it was like 5/8, 3/4 of an inch winch cable, so it was deep. It looked great. I was very disappointed when I found it. It was in Gold District too.
That's for sure.
I took some dude out a month or two ago. We went out to go do some stuff, and then on the way back, as a reward for helping me, I paid him for his time. But as a reward for helping me, I took him and his kid to Lava Tube, because there's a decent lava tube pretty close to here, relatively close. He was a little freaked out. He's like, "Man, you got my 7-year-old out here in a lava tube." This is fine, man. I wouldn't take you anywhere. I wouldn't take my own kids. I'd probably not even take you everywhere. Take them. But his kid is real shy, timid. He's a heavy kid, but real shy, timid about doing anything. So when you're walking around out in these lava fields, it's a sprained ankle waiting to happen. Take them all the way through this thing, scared to death. Get to the end where the sign-in book is. Let them sign it and all that stuff. Work our way out, and we finally get out to the outside. On the way to the hole, the kid needed to hold Daddy's hand for everything. On the way back, he tries to hold his kid's hand. He's like, "No, I got it, Dad." Built himself some confidence in an hour.
That's all it took. That's pretty awesome.
There's more lava. There's more lava tubes I want to get out and explore that I've learned about.
Lava tubes. That's something we don't really have over here.
The one of them I take people out to, it's real safe. Other than, you know, everything's sharp. There were it's probably 2 football fields long, maybe 1 football field. There's a sign-in book in the back. Wonder Hussey's been in it, and everybody and their brother's been in there. But it's real safe. It's neat if you've never done it. I know exactly where you were camping, Carson. I know 100% where you're camping. There's good gold. There's an okay gold mine out there. It's owned by the gold mine. I know right where Carson was talking about. I doubt he went there. It's owned by a furniture company from back east, from the East Coast. No clue as to why they own this property or anything like that. They're not going to do anything to it, but it's owned by a French furniture company back east. That's one of the owned properties that I wouldn't mind taking a sample from. Other than that, you know, if somebody owns it, I definitely wouldn't take it if it's claimed. But
yeah, I need to get back out there. Just got to take it easy on the old shoulder.
Well, if I were you, what I'd focus on as far as exploring or looking for the gold or anything like that, or look at these old areas that aren't in the wildernesses yet by you. Because if gold price continues to rise, every time that gold price goes up, it makes these areas more profitable to mine. At a certain point, these mega companies or whoever that are holding the claims, it becomes profitable enough for them to deal with the government and mine it. So spend as much time as you can around there. Oh, I know exactly where it was, Carson. There's a tank track that runs all the way out to Fort Irwin, where the convoys go. There's a gold mine out there too. There's a couple of them.
Yeah, there's definitely some places where there's some gold deposits, but I don't even think there would be considering any industrial mining in this area. I don't think the prices could get high enough because only the creeks and rivers were concentrated. That concentrates it down, but what's up in the hills is they knew how to trace that back in the day. They could find a little bit of gold. They could trace it. They didn't try to get that pan of gold right. They traced it. They traced where the gold went. They went to the source every chance they got, and they tore into it. There were no walls or laws or imaginary boundaries or borders or anything like that. They went after it, and they went for the source. So there's a lot of alluvial stuff still in the soils and the creeks and stuff around, but as in for like serious gold mines in this area, I don't know if there would be anything profitable enough. I mean, if you start saying crazy numbers about gold being this value or that value, at the same time, if it did that, the fuel and the cost of equipment would increase as well. So would it ever be profitable? I don't know.
What generally happened, as it's explained to me, if they found a deposit and it was assaying out at about an ounce per ton, they start. Well, you're talking per ton, and this is in the ore body, not in the overburden. But if it assayed out at about an ounce per ton, that would start a gold mine with the hopes that it would get bigger. But as the operation grew, if the amount of pay ore or pay dirt didn't increase, then the gold mines started collapsing under their own weight, being fuel costs, materials, things like that.
Yeah.
So they generally died right about an ounce per ton too. Nobody ever continued mining till there was nothing left. They continued mining until it wasn't making money.
Right.
So from a hobbyist perspective, a lot of these places that I go into, if you wanted to put in work, yeah, there's gold in them all day long. It just wasn't worth it for them to mine anymore. I just sent Carson a pin of right about where he was at. Within a mile of that pin, there's a gold mine that closed down at 1 ounce per ton. I'll write him out to us one day if he wants to, but that's the one that's owned by the furniture company. But talking to a couple of the other mine explorers that I talk to, and the one I go out with sometimes, what they're starting to see in these old mines are new survey markers, new test holes, new survey markers. They're testing. The companies are going back out and testing means considering, because technology is a lot better now.
Technology is better, recovery rates are better,
Well, I mean, and in 1900, to be able to open pit something, that was a big ordeal. In 2026, we got some pretty big equipment, a whole lot of explosives. We can open pit something pretty dang good.
Yeah.
They'll take all the gold. So if the ore body below is determined worth it, they'll pay fees, go through the effort, and cut these things open. The only thing that's going to save some of these places is the fact that they've been turned into wildernesses. They've wildernessed a lot of the land around me, all the way up to one freeway, basically. A huge amount of land. They wildernessed it, so it can never be done again. But I think from a hobbyist perspective, you can go in the wildernesses and sample.
Mm-hmm. I can go out there and collect, and I still get nasty comments from people and stuff about how my place sucks. You can't use this, you can't use that, because they go on and read the state rules, which the state rules don't apply to my little spot. My little spot's special, and if you can find the information about that little spot, yeah, you can use a sluice.
I mean, even at that, your place sucks. Your
Handheld sluice.
This, your place that. This is what I got to work with. It's all right. You got a better place. Find me out there. This is what I can do where I'm at. Be mad all you want. And those are also probably people who've never even set up a sluice before.
Yeah, but I can use a sluice, no problem. I can even use a rocker box. I can't carry lumber in and set up a big long sluice run. That's pretty what they used to do back in the day. People would show up with 2x4s and lumber, and they would set up a sluice run, and everybody would just shovel into it, and they'd clean it. So they used to do that back in the day, and we can't pour the mercury in. We can pull it out though. No explosives, no metal detectors. That's a big one. That one hurts. Everybody wishes they could use metal detectors out there. But as long as you can dig in the creek beds, you can't go sampling up in the hillsides and digging up the banks and up things like that. You can dig in the creek bed and you can use a sluice. And I'll tell you what, a lot of people say that's too restrictive and that's a lot of rules, but I'll tell you what, I ain't run out of places to go. I still got a list this long of places I want to go back and explore more, or check this, or do this. I could go the rest of the year and just keep on. There's so many places out there, and there's still more. I hadn't seen it all. I think I have, but I know I haven't. There's still more places out there with gold. All the other creeks, though, I keep checking. I ain't find no gold in them. Every now and then I go off track. Let's check something different. No, there's nothing.
Yeah.
But on the gold creeks, even in a bad spot, if you're panning correctly and panning slow enough and hard enough, because you got to shake the pan hard. It's a lot of the things people don't. They move it like this, and it's like they're trying to not move the material in there. You gotta shake that stuff. You gotta move it. You gotta shake the hell out of it. You gotta move the material inside big time, and the gold will fall out. So a lot of people don't shake it hard enough. That's one of the problems. It's one of my problems here in the shop is I'm trying not to slosh everything because out in the wild, I was, I'll fly through a pan. I'll fly through a wild pan too. And I just try to get my confidence up for panning. You go out there and you can spend 5 to 7 minutes on a wild pan easy, no problem. But if you get your confidence up and shake hard enough, you can do that same pan with the same amount of recovery in like half the time. You just gotta be more you just gotta have the confidence that you get it clean, you shake it down when you get some of the mud off. And at that point, after you got some of the mud out, say half of the mud out, and you're starting to hear the rocks on the bottom, you know the gold's dropped at that point. And that's when you speed up. And you don't speed up in the beginning, and you don't speed up at the end. It's the middle part. After you know that you've got the material clean and the gold has had a chance to fall, you can almost just push most of the stuff out of your pan. Just slough it right out, but don't. Because your gold's going to be down there. If you could stop right then and there and pull everything off and look, the gold's going to be there. After then, all you're doing is removing everything to get down to it because all the work's been done. The gold's where it needs to be. It's down the bottom. You just got to get to it in a clean way. And if we can figure out like a Saruka situation, which you flip it over and you just take it, that'd be something right there. Reinventing the gold pan again. Have you seen those auto pans?
No.
Waste of money. Ridiculous.
What do you mean an auto pan?
It's kind of like a gold wheel, but it's not a gold wheel. It's like a panning. It's a whole contraption on a tub and a pan, and it's a whole situation. But I've seen there's some prototypes out on YouTube and stuff you can find. But I've seen somebody using one like out on the Alaska beach, an auto pan. But it wasn't a gold wheel. It was an auto pan.
I don't even know what an auto pan is.
It's an automatic gold pan. So
I mean, I gather that from the description.
Yeah, it's a tub and some bendy tubes and a pan and a battery, and it's going to auto pan. Sounds like you'd have to recover a lot of gold to pay for an auto pan. And that's the thing about gold. People spend $3,000 to cover $7 worth of gold sometimes. Long Toms here in Oregon, yeah. They got restrictions on them now, the square footage restrictions, because people are getting ridiculous. And I think every state's a little different about the square footage you can have on your sluice run and everything. And people thought they were getting away with something by topping it off with the gold cube first. And then they caught on to that. And they started counting that as the square footage on top of it. And everybody's trying to get more square footage. They got rules. And I guess they shut down the whole lake situation for Flower Gold Wizard completely.
Oh, he can't pan on the lakes no more?
Well, I mean, he can't have none of his equipment up there no more whatsoever. I think he can pan. Maybe that's it. Because he was going up there with all his machines and sluices and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Later, Carson. Yeah, and I mean the reality is there's just as good of a chance that they came up with that on their own as there is somebody saw one of his videos with machines and equipment out on the lakes. He's destroying our environment.
I don't necessarily either one of those is I don't know if you take a step back, like what has he created? Like how many other people are going to those banks down there on that certain area and just going a ham at it, and has it created a problem? I don't know.
And leaving their messes. I don't watch Flower Gold Wizard.
Yeah.
I don't watch Flower Gold Wizard. Nothing personal against him. It's just time divided by YouTubers, and he doesn't fit in the equation. It is what it is.
Yeah. But he's really popular, and a lot of people watch his videos. And you can't go anywhere now without running into people that know him. And so I was just wondering how many people were going out there and just tearing it up, because everybody figured out where he was pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I watched some dudes. People have told me the channel a couple of times before, but they go out. I don't know if they were Canada or Alaska. Could even be high up in Washington, but they went out in this mud flat. I'll call it. It's this river that it floods over. Daily or whatever. And these guys pull their truck up, and they know there's gold there. They just pull up and they set up all their equipment out there. And their entire philosophy is want more gold, move more dirt. So they don't test for anything. They go out to this random sandbar, or what's seemingly random from the video, set their equipment up, and they just start moving ridiculous amounts of dirt.
really,
And they had good gold. And the other philosophy is want more gold.
good ground.
They're like, you can test till you're blue in the face and lose days doing it. As soon as the river floods again,
Obviously, they knew they were on good ground and gold bearing area. That's true. Even if I go up to the mountains to the gold bearing, or here, if you just jump into the spot blindly, you may or may not hit it. You might be in the completely wrong spot for it to lay down. If they know that's a deposit area and they know it's deposit in there, they can go at it. I can go to the river and say that too, but I can be sitting on a deposit that I done tested out.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of dirt the two guys moved was just massive.
Yeah,
they had a good goal for it. They knew what they were doing. They were talking about it during the video. They've been to that same flat who knows how many times, and they're like, we can test till we're blue in the face. We find we get more gold if we don't waste any time testing. We just start moving dirt.
I got a spot like that I want to go and tear up, and it's. I think there's a spot about the size of this building or bigger in the footprint that if you tore everything out knee deep, you do pretty good. Just one little spot, but once you start doing the math on that, that's 2 or 3 people all day at least, to tear out that much material. But the thing is it's fast material. We're not talking about clay. We're talking about a 1/2 inch. We can use 1/2 inch classifier and run it as long as you got enough water to send it through the sluice,
Yeah.
And we're light on water, so we're using 1/4 inch or less to run your material.
Now, there's no gold in South Carolina, right? Or not enough to matter?
The gold in South Carolina is like, well, of course, rings on the beaches, and the northwest corner of South Carolina is in that gold line that runs down from Charlotte, because Charlotte's in South Carolina too. So there's a lot of gold in South Carolina, but only up in that top tip. And then it goes across, and then it hits Georgia, and then Alabama, and it kind of fades a little. That's the gold line that zips down through. But I tell you what, South Carolina is so much of a fucker on their rules is just come up here to North Carolina and dig.
Yeah, I never hear anybody talking about South Carolina for gold.
Yeah, there's that one guy that went to one of their parks to dig, and he was like on his knees. And he's like, this is all I'm allowed to use. And he had like a little garden trowel and a little gold pan. And he's like, this is all I'm allowed to use. That's why nobody talks about South Carolina. Couldn't use a sluice. Nothing. You can't even use like a half shovel. You can't even use a full shot shovel, half shovel, nothing. There's got to be like a little tiny garden trowel. Ain't that ridiculous? I don't know. They probably got a size restriction on the garden trowel too.
That's what I was going to say. So what? I can have a 10-foot long, 2.5 inch wide garden trowel. We'll just probe for the gold.
Just cut the handle off the shovel, and you got the.
My handle's no more than 4 inches.
So I don't know. They got a lot of rules down there, but there is gold in that area. But it's mostly up around the Charlotte area, and then once you get way west, closer to Georgia, up in those mountain areas, then you get a little bit more gold. But there's gold in South Carolina. There's gold in Virginia, but not like North Carolina. North Carolina is it's kind of a faint there, and then it jumps, and then we got the big wide band in North Carolina where we found all those 27 and 37 pound nuggets or whatever, and then it gets thin down below, just below Charlotte. It thins out again, and it kind of turns and goes across. But you never know when you're going to find a piece of gold. It pops up here. I mean, I go out this little feeder, these creeks. There's like, there ain't no gold there. They mined it out. Well, I go out there and I find gold in the damnedest places.
Caught one on a 7.
I make videos with the pups there years ago, but it was crazy. You can find fine gold. You can find flakes, just random flakes. I walked up on this piece of like, it's like false bedrock, it's deteriorating, and it was split. It was on the edge and it had been washed clean from the river, and there was a lead weight in the crack. I was like, a little lead weight. And I went and moved the lead weight, and there was a flake of gold sitting under that lead weight. I shit you not. I was like, what? And I could pick it up. It was big enough. I was like, the hell? And that was the only time I've ever walked and picked up a piece of gold in the wild like that. That's the only time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
There's Thomas 907. Welcome. It's probably early where you're at. I was already 1:30, so here and run them out for another half hour. Well, hit that link again, and if anybody wants to come and hang out for a minute, I'll hang out for a little bit for an after party, and then I got to go to bed and go to work and all that. So there's that link. Thank you, Ryan Jackson, for calling in, and thanks to everybody for coming and hanging out. Slap that like. I'll come back. We'll come up with some products. We'll come up with something. Maybe we'll do a race one time or something. I don't know about any type of regular schedule at the moment. Right now we have these certain events, and I get home a little early. And maybe sometimes during them I can do that or see when my days are off. But everybody else, somebody's always live. If I plan to go live on Friday, somebody didn't go live on Wednesday, goes live on Friday. Or the Thursday guy goes live on Friday, or the Saturday guy goes on Monday, and the Monday guy goes on Monday. So I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go live when I got a chance. And if somebody else is live, then they can go kick rocks. I don't care.
You already know how it is. You just got to run it.
So that's how there's been a bunch of times I wasn't going to go live, but there was all this stuff going on. I ain't talking to nobody about it, but yeah, it's like whatever. Somebody else is live. I just do my own thing. Oh, I want to walk with Sissy. Sissy's walking. That's good. Cool. Well, good night, Mega Dog. Good night, Hobo Rob. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Roger Lane. Night, Adam Jackson. And in the stream.